You are chosen. Listen carefully. What I'm about to share isn't for everyone. If you're here right now, it's not by chance. You've been chosen. You are part of something greater, something divine. The shifts happening in your life are not random. They are a sign that God is guiding you toward your true purpose. But here's the truth. Not everyone will understand this power. Many will overlook it, doubt it, or dismiss it entirely. But you already feel it. That's why you're here. The time for waiting, wishing, and wondering is over. You're about to step into the reality you've been praying for. But this isn't just about personal success. It's about something much deeper. God is aligning you with your destiny, and as one of the chosen, you are about to experience life in a way that others can only dream of. Before we dive into this powerful truth, take a moment to help build this community. If this message resonates with you, show your commitment. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment the number 11, a sign that you're ready to receive the blessings ahead. This number is a symbol, a powerful message to the universe that you are open and prepared for what's coming next. Now, if you truly are chosen, you'll stay until the end. Why? Because your spirit already knows this message is meant for you. But be warned, this truth isn't for everyone. Only those truly ready to step into their divine power will fully grasp what's about to be revealed. What does it mean to be chosen? Being chosen by God isn't about fame, wealth, or worldly recognition. It's not about standing in the spotlight. Instead, it's about divine alignment, where your heart, your soul, and your purpose come together in perfect harmony with a higher plan. Have you ever felt a quiet stirring in your soul, a whisper in your heart at unexpected moments? That's not coincidence. That's your calling, a sacred invitation to rise above the ordinary and step into something extraordinary. But here's the thing. This calling isn't something the world will always see or understand. It's a divine secret, a treasure placed within you meant to be carried with grace and wisdom. When God chooses you, He entrusts you with something sacred, something powerful yet deeply personal. It's a responsibility that requires strength, humility, and unwavering faith. This isn't a secret meant to exclude others. Instead, it's about an intimate connection with God, one that the world may never fully comprehend. There may be moments of doubt, times when you question your path. But as you continue your journey, you'll come to realize that those whispers in your heart, they aren't just your own thoughts. They are the voice of something far greater. The path of the chosen one is one of quiet service, deep transformation, and an unshakable connection to divine love. If you are truly ready, your life is about to change in ways you never imagined. Are you ready to embrace your calling? Being chosen by God, a calling, not a favor. Being chosen by God isn't about favoritism. It's about alignment. It's the divine recognition that your soul is ready to step into a purpose far greater than anything you could imagine. Imagine this. The universe moves in ways beyond human understanding. And when your heart is in sync with God's plan, everything begins to fall into place. Being chosen doesn't mean you're better than anyone else. It simply means you're in the right place at the right time, with a heart ready to serve. God's choice isn't about qualifications, it's about readiness. God doesn't choose based on worldly success or merit. In fact, many of His chosen ones initially feel unworthy or unprepared. They question, why me? But here's the truth. Being chosen has nothing to do with how much you've achieved, and everything to do with the openness of your heart. When you surrender to God's will, when your heart is open to divine truth, you are more than capable of fulfilling your calling. God doesn't look for the most qualified. He qualifies the ones He calls. And once you accept this, you'll see that your life has been divinely orchestrated in ways you never realized before. A sacred partnership, being chosen, is not a badge of honor. It's a divine partnership. God reaches out, offering you a unique path, one that transforms not just you, but the world around you. It's a calling to be an instrument of love, compassion, and service. But this calling requires more than just belief. It asks for humility, sacrifice, and a deep commitment to something greater than yourself. This path isn't always easy, but it is always worth it. The whisper of the divine. There are moments when you feel something stirring deep within, a gentle tug at your heart, an unshakable sense that you were meant for more. At first, it's quiet, like a whisper in your soul. But as time passes, that whisper becomes impossible to ignore. This is God's call. It's not loud or forceful. It's not a demand. It's an invitation, an opportunity to awaken to your higher self, to embrace your divine gifts, and to walk a path of spiritual growth. This calling cuts through the distractions of life, speaking directly to your soul, and once you recognize it, there's no turning back. The awakening moment. At first, this invitation may be unclear. It might feel like restlessness, like an unshakable sense that something in your life isn't quite right. It may come as a quiet nudge or an overwhelming realization that you were made for more. But when the call arrives, it's like a light turning on. Suddenly, things start making sense. You realize that every moment, every challenge, every lesson has been preparing you for this. The call to your heart is the first step in fulfilling your divine mission. Not everyone will understand it. Not everyone will answer it. But if you feel it deep in your soul, then you already know. You were chosen for a reason. The whisper of God's call. God's call isn't a thunderous roar or an earth-shaking command. It doesn't come crashing in with force. Instead, it arrives as a whisper, a quiet, gentle voice that stirs something deep within you. It speaks to the very core of who you are, awakening parts of your soul that may have been dormant for years. It's not a call that demands immediate action or forces you into a decision. Instead, it waits, patiently, persistently, until your heart is ready to respond. This whisper is a gift. It's a divine invitation to step into something far greater than you've ever imagined. When God speaks, it's not just words. It's a feeling, a vibration that resonates through your entire being. It's a call that stirs buried emotions, reignites long-forgotten dreams, and brings to light fears you didn't even know existed. And yet, no matter how overwhelming it may seem, God's voice always carries a deep and unshakable peace. It may challenge you, but it will never lead you astray. This whisper is the guide that leads you toward your truth, your purpose, and your destiny. At first, God's call may feel distant, like a faint echo in the background of your life. But as you listen, as you quiet the noise of the world and tune in, it becomes clearer, stronger, more insistent. It's as if the divine is calling you home, back to the place where you truly belong. And once you begin to trust that whisper, you'll realize it was never absent. It was always there, waiting for you to be ready. The power of choice in the journey of the chosen. The path of the chosen one is not a straight road. It twists and turns, filled with moments of uncertainty, growth, and transformation. It requires both courage and free will. God does not force you into your calling. He doesn't impose His plan upon you. Instead, He lays the path before you and offers the invitation. The choice is always yours, to step forward or to turn away. This is the great paradox of being chosen. There is a divine plan, but there is also free will. God's purpose for you is set, but how you walk that path, how you embrace or resist it, is entirely up to you. This choice isn't a burden, it's a gift. It gives you the power to shape your own destiny, to take ownership of your role in the divine story, and to walk forward with awareness, intention, and faith. But to truly embrace this calling, you must surrender. Surrender doesn't mean losing control. It means releasing the illusion that you must control everything. It's the understanding that while you have the power to choose, God's plan is unfolding exactly as it should. It's trusting that even in uncertainty, even in challenge, even when the path seems unclear, you are being guided. To step into your divine role is to accept that growth often comes through struggle, transformation through trials, and clarity through trust. Yet, in surrendering to this higher calling, you will find something that surpasses all personal ambition, a peace and fulfillment beyond anything you could have created on your own. Are you ready to listen, to trust, to step into the purpose that has been waiting for you all along? God's whisper has already begun. The choice is yours, answering the call. When the call comes, it's not always easy to answer. The journey of a chosen one often begins with doubt, fear, and uncertainty. Your mind may whisper that you're not worthy, that you're not strong enough, or that the road ahead will be too difficult. But here's the truth. Answering the call isn't about having all the answers. It's about having faith. Faith is more than just believing. It's knowing deep in your soul that you are exactly where you're meant to be. It's trusting that even when the path seems unclear, God is walking beside you every step of the way. And courage is moving forward despite the fear, standing strong even when everything inside you tells you to turn back. Faith and courage won't always come easily. There will be moments when you question yourself, when the world around you doesn't understand your choices. Friends and family may not see the vision God has placed in your heart, but answering the call means making a decision, a choice to step into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. It won't be easy, but it will be the most important decision of your life. Guided by something greater, the road of the chosen one is not meant to be walked alone. God's guidance is with you always. It moves through your life like a steady, unseen hand, directing your steps, even when you don't know what comes next. Divine guidance doesn't always arrive with thunder or flashing lights. Sometimes it's a whisper in your heart, a quiet certainty that you are exactly where you need to be. God speaks in many ways, through intuition, through signs and synchronicities, through those small, unshakable moments of clarity. Sometimes it's a book that falls into your hands at the right time. Other times, it's a conversation that shifts your entire perspective. But make no mistake, God is always speaking. The question is, are you listening? Trusting this guidance means surrendering the need for control. It means believing that even when you don't understand the plan, God does. At times, His direction may seem subtle, even uncertain, but as you strengthen your connection, you'll begin to recognize His voice more clearly. You'll see His hand in the everyday moments, in the coincidences that feel too perfect to be chance, in the quiet stillness where truth reveals itself. Divine guidance is not reserved for the few. It's available to anyone who seeks it with an open heart. If you are ready to step into your calling, if you are willing to trust in something greater than yourself, then the path ahead is waiting for you. Are you ready to follow where God is leading you? The leap of faith. Trusting the divine path. Sometimes life will ask you to take a leap of faith, to make choices that don't seem to make sense in the moment. But when you trust in God's guidance, even when it defies logic, you'll see that every step you take is leading you toward the divine mission you were created for. God's wisdom isn't limited by time or human understanding. It is eternal, guiding you toward the fulfillment of your higher purpose. Deep inside, there's a quiet stirring, an unshakable feeling that you were meant for something greater. This is the first divine secret. It's not loud or forceful. It's a subtle nudge, a whisper in your soul urging you to rise above the ordinary and seek a deeper, more meaningful purpose. This calling can't be forced or manufactured. It's something that awakens within you. At first, it might feel like restlessness, a nagging sense that something is missing, or an inner pull to make a difference in the world. It's an invitation to step beyond your comfort zone, to explore the unseen, and to search for meaning beyond the surface of everyday life. And once you start listening, once you take that first step, you'll find yourself on a path you never imagined. The awakening, recognizing your divine calling. This inner stirring is the beginning of your awakening. It's the first sign that God is calling you toward something greater. It's like the first clue in the puzzle of your life, an unfolding mystery that becomes clearer as you learn to listen and respond. Honoring this stirring means honoring the sacred purpose that has been placed within you. It's the first step on a journey that will shape you, challenge you, and ultimately transform you. But being chosen by God comes with a profound responsibility, one that requires the purification of your heart and mind, letting go of the ego. Preparing for transformation. The path of the chosen is a path of transformation. Before you can fully step into your divine calling, you must shed the layers of ego that have built up over time. The ego craves validation, control, and separation. It seeks approval from the world rather than alignment with God's truth. But to walk this journey, you must let go of what holds you back. Purification isn't always easy. It requires deep self-reflection, confronting your fears, insecurities, and attachments. It means facing the parts of yourself that you may have avoided for years. But on the other side of that process lies something greater, your true divine self, unburdened and ready to step fully into the purpose God has set before you. This journey isn't for everyone, but if you feel that stirring inside, if you hear the call, you already know. The path has been set before you. The question is, are you ready to take the first step? The purification process, embracing your true calling. This journey is not always easy, but it is necessary. The more you shed the layers of ego, the more you align with your true essence, the part of you that is fully connected to the divine. It is through this process of purification that your heart becomes open and receptive to God's guidance. Purification is both beautiful and challenging. It requires you to let go of what no longer serves you, and that can be uncomfortable. But as you release the old, you create space for something greater. This is when your true power begins to emerge. Your divine gifts, your higher calling, and the deeper purpose you were always meant to fulfill. Trials are part of the journey. The path of the chosen one is not without its trials. You will face moments of doubt, times when your faith is tested, and challenges that may seem overwhelming. But these struggles are not meant to break you. They are meant to transform you. Every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Some of these trials will be external: strained relationships, financial difficulties, or personal loss. Others will be internal: the fear, self-doubt, and limiting beliefs that surface as you step into your higher purpose. But each one is an invitation to rise above, to strengthen your faith, and to align more deeply with your divine calling. The darkness you face is not a punishment. It is a refining fire, shaping you into the person God has called you to be. The trials you endure are not obstacles. They are stepping stones, preparing you for something greater, transformation through trials. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in the moments when you are stretched beyond what you thought you could bear. It happens when you choose faith over fear, purpose over doubt, and divine trust over human uncertainty. You may not always understand why certain trials come your way, but in time, you'll look back and see that they were necessary. They shaped you, strengthened you, and prepared you for your higher mission. Each struggle has a purpose, and that purpose is to mold you into an instrument of divine love and service. Awakening your spiritual gifts. As you walk deeper into your divine path, you'll notice something extraordinary happening within you. Your spiritual gifts are awakening. These gifts aren't random. They were woven into your being by God Himself. They are tools entrusted to you to help you fulfill your higher purpose. This journey is not just about personal growth. It's about stepping into the life you were always meant to live. You were chosen for a reason, and everything you are experiencing is part of God's divine plan. Stay faithful. Keep moving forward. Your transformation is unfolding exactly as it should. Embracing your spiritual gifts. At first, they may feel like quiet whispers, subtle nudges of intuition, sudden flashes of insight, or an inner knowing that guides your decisions. But as you continue to grow into your calling, these gifts will become clearer, stronger, and more deeply connected to the purpose you were meant to fulfill. Your spiritual gifts are unique to you. Some have been with you since birth, lying dormant, waiting for the right moment to awaken. Others have developed as you've walked your spiritual path, unfolding as you become more aligned with your higher purpose. These gifts can take many forms: the ability to heal, the power to listen deeply and offer wisdom, the compassion that transforms hearts, or the clarity and discernment that allow you to see beyond the physical world. As you awaken to these abilities, you may feel a deep sense of responsibility to use them for good. And that is exactly the divine plan: to share these gifts in service to others, helping to uplift and guide those who need it most. But simply recognizing these gifts isn't enough. Awakening them requires intention. You must nurture them, develop them, and put them into practice. Just as a musician must practice to master their instrument, you must cultivate your spiritual abilities through prayer, meditation, reflection, and service. The more you use them, the stronger and more refined they become, radiating their divine power into the world. As you align yourself with your higher calling, you'll come to see that these gifts aren't just for you. They are meant to be shared. They are tools of healing, guidance, and inspiration. And like any sacred tool, they must be treated with care, respect, and devotion. This journey requires dedication. It's about building a relationship with your divine abilities, understanding their purpose, and committing to their growth. Just like a seed needs soil, water, and sunlight to flourish, your gifts require time, patience, and practice. But as you nurture them, they will blossom, allowing you to bring light into dark places and spark transformation in the lives of others. This is the path of the chosen: to awaken, to nurture, and to serve. Are you ready to step fully into your divine power, nurturing your gifts and embracing your destiny? Your spiritual gifts will grow as you nurture them, whether through prayer, study, or simply creating space to be still and listen to God's voice. The more you cultivate these gifts, the more refined and powerful they become, allowing you to serve with greater impact. But nurturing your gifts also requires humility. Remember, these blessings aren't yours to claim as personal possessions. They are entrusted to you by the divine, meant to be used for a higher purpose. When you recognize this truth, you approach your gifts with reverence and gratitude, understanding that they are tools for service, not for self-glorification. The more you align your gifts with God's will, the more they will flourish, bringing you closer to fulfilling your higher mission. In nurturing them, you are preparing yourself to be a vessel of transformation, a guiding light that helps others find their own divine purpose. The balance between destiny and free will. One of the most profound aspects of being chosen is understanding the delicate balance between destiny and free will. On one hand, you have been called to a greater purpose, a divine mission set in motion long before your birth. On the other, you are not merely a passive observer in this journey. You have the power to choose, to take action, and to shape your path. This is the divine paradox. While you are part of a greater plan, your choices matter. Destiny isn't about fate controlling every step. It's about alignment with a higher truth that leads you to your divine purpose. Destiny is the thread woven through your life, pulling you toward your mission. But it is through your free will that you bring that mission to life. Every decision, big or small, plays a role in shaping your higher purpose. The beauty of this truth is that you have the freedom to walk this path in a way that reflects your unique strengths, values, and personality, all while staying aligned with God's plan. While destiny calls you toward something greater, free will gives you the power to co-create your future. You are not a puppet of fate. You are an active participant in the divine story unfolding before you. Even in the face of challenges, you have the power to choose how you respond. Your thoughts, actions, and beliefs can align more closely with the divine plan, allowing you to move forward with confidence and faith. This partnership between destiny and free will gives your life profound meaning. You are walking a path designed by God, knowing that every choice you make plays a role in His greater plan. The path of a chosen one, a life of service and surrender. Being chosen isn't just about your personal growth. It's about lifting others up, helping them see the divine light within themselves, and serving with love and purpose. Your calling is one of selflessness, where the needs of others take precedence over personal desires. The chosen ones are called to serve in profound ways, through acts of kindness, healing, guidance, and leadership. And the more you step into this divine role, the more you'll see how deeply your life is connected to those around you. But let's be honest, serving others isn't always easy. It takes humility, patience, and the understanding that your actions have the power to change lives. Sometimes, serving means stepping outside your comfort zone, offering support when it's needed most, and showing love even when it's not returned. Yet, it's in these very moments that you fulfill your highest purpose. Every act of kindness, every word of encouragement, every moment of compassion you share is a reflection of God's grace at work in the world. When you serve, you become a vessel through which the divine flows, touching hearts and inspiring change. True chosen ones don't seek recognition or glory. They serve quietly, humbly, and with an open heart. The real power of service isn't in the applause. It's in the lives you impact, the hope you restore, and the love you bring to those who need it most. But here's the greatest truth of all. The more you serve, the more you align with your divine purpose. And the final secret of the chosen one, the art of surrender, the power of surrender. Surrendering to God's will doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting that the divine knows what's best for you. It's about releasing control, letting go of the need to know every detail, and having faith that your journey is unfolding exactly as it should. Surrender is the ultimate act of faith. It's the moment you realize that your life is not your own. It belongs to God. You are simply walking in alignment with His plan. But let's be real. Trusting the journey isn't always easy. There will be times of uncertainty, moments when you feel lost, and seasons where nothing seems to make sense. Yet, these are the moments that test your faith the most. And here's what you need to remember. God never abandons the chosen ones. When the path feels unclear, when doubt creeps in, when fear tries to hold you back, trust. Keep walking, keep believing. Because every challenge, every trial, every test is shaping you for something greater. Your calling is not just about you. It's about the lives you're meant to touch, the hearts you're meant to heal, and the light you're meant to bring into the world. Surrendering to God's will. When you surrender to God's will, you're saying, I trust you, even in the unknown. You're choosing to believe that every twist and turn, every challenge and victory, is part of a greater plan designed specifically for you. True surrender isn't about giving up. It's about letting go of the need to control everything and trusting that God is always in control. As you surrender, you'll experience a profound sense of peace, the kind that comes from knowing you don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to figure everything out on your own. God is leading you, step by step, exactly where you need to be. But surrender doesn't mean passivity. It's an active choice to trust in God's wisdom, even when His plan doesn't make sense. In that trust, you'll discover true freedom, alignment, and a deeper connection to your highest purpose. A divine timing, trusting God's perfect plan. Timing is everything. But God's timing is perfect. As human beings, we often want things to happen on our schedule. We pray, plan, and push for outcomes, expecting instant results. But when you are called by God, you must learn to trust His timing, not your own. It's often in the moments when we stop striving and let go that we begin to see His plan unfolding. God is never early, never late. He is always right on time. Even when it feels like things are taking too long, know that He is working behind the scenes, preparing you for what's ahead. Trusting in divine timing teaches patience. It helps you recognize that every season in your life has a purpose. The delays, the pauses, the waiting. It's all part of your preparation. You're being shaped, strengthened, and refined so that when the right moment arrives, you'll be fully ready to walk into your destiny. It's natural to feel frustrated when things don't happen as quickly as you'd like. You may wonder why certain doors haven't opened, or why opportunities seem to pass you by. But when you truly trust divine timing, you stop seeing delays as setbacks and start recognizing them as part of God's preparation process. Every pause is intentional. Every waiting season has a reason. And when the time is right, you'll step into what God has prepared for you, stronger, wiser, and ready for the blessings ahead. The power of divine timing. One of the most beautiful things about divine timing is that it lifts the weight off your shoulders. You don't have to rush, force outcomes, or try to control every detail of your life. Instead, you can lean into faith and trust, knowing that you are exactly where you're meant to be in every moment. Trusting God's timing means understanding that every delay, every detour, and every unexpected turn is part of a greater plan. And when the right time comes, you won't have to struggle or strive. You will be ready, equipped, and positioned to step fully into your destiny. Facing fear with faith. Fear is one of the most natural emotions we experience as human beings. And when you are chosen by God, you will inevitably encounter moments of fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of judgment. It's part of the journey, but here's the truth. You weren't chosen to run from fear. You were chosen to walk through it. Fear, when faced with courage, transforms from a barrier into a teacher. It teaches you resilience, reveals your inner strength, and strengthens your trust in God. The key to overcoming fear isn't to pretend it doesn't exist. It's to acknowledge it and move forward anyway. Every time you step through fear, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than you thought and that your faith in God is greater than any obstacle in your path. Fear often appears when you're stepping into something new, when you're being called beyond your comfort zone, stretched toward a greater purpose. And as a chosen one, that's exactly what you are meant to do. You are called to expand, to take risks, to embrace the unfamiliar. It's natural to feel fear in those moments, but your mission is greater than your fear. As you continue walking forward, fear begins to lose its power over you. You will no longer be paralyzed by doubt or hesitation. Instead, you will harness the energy of fear and use it as fuel to propel you toward your purpose. The more you face fear with faith, the more you'll realize it's just a passing feeling, temporary and powerless when met with action. When you trust in God's guidance, you learn to walk with peace even in the midst of uncertainty. At the end of the day, fear does not define you. What defines you is your courage, your faith, and your commitment to your divine calling. When transformed, fear becomes a source of strength, one that pushes you even further along your path to fulfilling your destiny. The power of prayer. Prayer is one of the most powerful tools a chosen one can use to stay aligned with God's will. It's more than a routine or a tradition. It's a direct line of communication with the divine. Through prayer, you invite God's presence into your life, seeking guidance, strength, and wisdom for your journey. But prayer isn't just about asking for help. It's about connection. It's a living, breathing relationship with the Creator, a sacred moment where you open your heart, release your worries, and allow divine love and peace to fill your soul. When you pray, you are not just speaking, you are aligning. You are surrendering your desires and stepping into the greater purpose for which you were chosen. In the midst of life's chaos, prayer becomes your anchor. It brings clarity when the world feels overwhelming, reminding you of your true purpose and calling. In that stillness, where distractions fade away, God's voice becomes clear. Whether it's a structured prayer, silent reflection, or simply speaking to God in the quiet moments of your day, every prayer strengthens your connection and realigns your spirit with His divine plan. Prayer is also an invitation for divine intervention. When you ask, God responds. The answer may not always come in the way you expect, but it will always lead you where you need to be. Prayer opens your heart to divine wisdom, guiding you toward the right path, even when the road ahead seems uncertain. Above all, prayer is a reminder that you are never alone. No matter the challenges you face, God is always there, guiding, protecting, and uplifting you as you walk the path of the chosen one. So take a moment, pray, connect, and trust that God is always listening.